the video starts, head down below, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Check out all our socials in the description and hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Yes, now, welcome back. Offbeat Podcast, episode 20-something.
I think it's 28.
Yeah.
I think it's 28. It's either 28 or 29. Like, we're getting on a bit now.
Nice to see that you're running like a very tight ship.
Yeah. Someone's got
very
a tight
professional,
ship around here. Very professional, turns up and dance. Yeah, mate, very professional. I always wonder, like, for people like new viewers, do they look at us and think we've got like a studio and we just alternate? We have 2 different studios every week.
Studios.
Yeah, just rolling in it, mate. That's what we're doing.
Podcast when he's coming in.
Very special guest this week.
Very special guest.
Liam Tuffy's in the stand-up comedian.
Waving at all the cameras.
He's like, I shall flip it to every single one.
You've got her now. Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
That's
Really
all right.
appreciate it. Yeah.
I'm a attention whore. Anyone who'll have me, I'll jump on. Oh, you've got cameras. You want to point them at me, Sam?
Ironically, that's what Aaron said. That should be a good laugh. So, do you want to kind of a little bit of introducing yourself, kind of what you do in your spare time?
You put me on the spot there, lad.
It's a very leading question because I know exactly what you do. So.
Yeah. I'm a stand-up comedian. I still struggle to say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
Because when you start, you are not a stand-up comedian, but you are doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like I can say safely now that I'm a stand-up comedian. Got a podcast, social media at Liam Tuffy Comedy. Do you know what I mean? Get the plugs out.
Get the plugs in.
Get the plugs out now.
Don't do it in the video. Don't do it at the end of the video because nobody's there. Nobody's there. You need to
at Liam Tuffy Comedy on all social media. I've got a podcast with Adam Wood at Warren. I was going to call him Warren Ad then. His name at Aaron Wood Comedy. That's on his social media.
And that Spread Negativity podcast as well.
Right.
See,
Yeah. Big competition, so, you know.
At Spread Negativity Pod. On everything but Twitter, where it's SN. The S Negativity Pod, because they have a fucking character limit. And we don't know the name. Devastated.
Mate, we're going to start a war on Twitter, I think. Let's just start a war. Let's take him down.
It's out of order, man.
We're not happy. We're not even on Twitter.
Do you know what, mate? That Instagram is the one.
Yeah.
Instagram is
all
the
the
one.
others are just like fucking. I don't know. I obviously Facebook was. I think what'll happen is we get like the older generation onto things, and then they push all the young ones off, don't they? So Facebook comes out, you're like, fuck MySpace. This is mum's on MySpace now. Let's get on Facebook. Then your mum follows you to Facebook. You're like, what's next? Fucking Instagram. And then now everyone's mum's just going to be on TikTok.
Just keep working our way. Just keep working our way. I love TikTok though, mate. I'm on it so often, it's really bad. I should be on it as much as I am. It's mindlessly scrolling.
My algorithm's
Scrolling. By messed
What's
up.
yours?
By messed up. Like, so I love this American podcast called Your Mum's House.
Oh yeah.
I think we heard that,
Like that's my favorite podcast. But they have like a TikTok feature where they they've got a messed up algorithm, so it's like just a bunch of like odd people. They're making TikTok videos, like the dark side of TikTok. And because I listen, I'll be like, oh, I want to see that video, you know. So I'll search for it. But because I search for a few of them, TikTok thinks like I'm a wrong 'un as well. So I just get suggested like all the wrong 'uns.
Yeah.
So I can get lost on it for a while because then I'm doing deep dives. Like people are like this.
So so either TikTok have found you out completely, or
You've been rumbled by TikTok.
I have been rumbled.
Yeah.
Soon I'm going to. Well, I mean, I'm posting stuff on TikTok, so I'm one of those wrong 'uns.
Yeah.
I mean, we've tried a few on TikTok, but like it's just. It's fine time to edit them. I have to edit a podcast every week, so that's long enough in itself.
Don't you underestimate the commitment there?
Amount of time into it, especially when it's like, because obviously with your stand-up comedy, you need to make sure that you're filming at the right time with the right set, getting the right punchlines in.
Yeah.
Do you kind of like pre-plan where you're going to be like filming for your clips?
No, with the stand-up, I think I take the camera to every gig.
Oh, nice.
And I just film everything.
Yeah.
To learn. Like the main thing is like you record, because I started recording audio. Like I'd have my phone in my pocket, and then you like. You think about the lines that aren't getting a laugh and how you can say them differently, and then you turn that into a laugh and whatnot. But then obviously the camera helps with like the physical side of things. Like, so that's the main reason I bought a camera. And then anything that happens off the cuff, which you think would do all right as a clip, that's how you make a clip. Because I've been like focusing loads of energy on the podcast and editing that, I've got like a backlog of things that I could make clips out of. And because it's such a backlog, I'm putting it off, but
You start. I've got quite a lot of backlog where I've got things where I'm thinking, as a clip, that'd be amazing, but then I'm like, just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
So any editors out there, get in touch. You know where I am.
Yeah, we've got an internship. It's unpaid. But it's great experience.
It's got an internship, but it's me. I'm an internship for my own podcast.
I'll like sometimes, because I take the camera to every gig, sometimes I'll pull up outside the venue and I'll be like, the camera is staying in the car. Get it out.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Where's like the most seedy, but not seedy place?
Seedy?
Where's the most like roughest place you've gigged?
Genuinely last night. I'm not even just
Really?
saying this to be on the podcast. It was genuinely last night. Like, it was in Runcorn, yeah.
Oh,
My mate
dear.
messages me. It was a paid gig and that, and it's Runcorn's a half hour. But he was like, do you want to... I even fucking say this with a straight face, and I'm going to lose respect. Any stand-up comedians who are watching this and maybe respect me, that's probably not many, they're going to lose respect for me. Yeah, I did a 50th birthday last night.
Oh no!
50th birthday. So I get the message and I'm like, of course this is going to be dog shit. Like, I knew it was.
Yeah.
Who's asked about... Who goes to a 50th birthday full of your family and your friends that you haven't seen in a little while, and you're having a drink and having a bevy and thinks, you know what, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to watch this dickhead talk for 20 minutes. You're not going to, are you?
In Runcorn.
Because there was money, and Runcorn's like a half-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just, like I said, an attention whore. I just like getting up, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I've not booked that day. I'll go, and I knew what it'd be, and I actually had a proper laugh, even though it was.
Yeah. Was it that
so
shit? You had a
rough.
laugh.
The fucking pub was called The Fiddler's Free, which is a fucking warning sign,
Yeah.
innit? Free nonsense on the fucking The Fiddler's. I was trying to identify who was the Fiddlers when I walked in. Yeah. I think I identified them correctly.
Yeah.
And as soon as
Sorry
I
when you
walked in, that TikTok was educational, mate. I know what the wrong stuff like him. And I walked in and it was just like 80s music blaring. So the first thing anyone said to me was, "Why aren't you in fancy dress?" I'm like, I looked at them like bewildered. They were like, "It's an 80s night." I was like, "Have you got any neon glasses? I'll put them on." Would that work? And the music was just blaring. Like, everyone was like loud and leery. And I was like, okay, me and my mate who did the gig, I won't name him because I don't know if he wants to be named.
Yeah.
But he's also like, he's a good actor as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we walked in and both of us are just looking at each other like, this is exactly what we knew it'd be. The only people who we've got to blame.
At least we're together. Just holding hands as you're walking in. We're in this together.
So what? We were actually like that. We were like, I was like, I'm glad I'm doing this with you because it's a funny story. Like, that's another reason. Like, one thing you do with stand up is if you get invited to like mad things or there's something you wouldn't usually do, you think at the worst, I'll get a story.
You get a story, yeah.
So I'll do it.
Content's king, guys. Content's always king.
And it was rough as fuck. Like, no one gave a fuck about comedy. No one. So my mate was the opener, so I got to watch, and it got to the point where he like kind of abandoned trying to tell jokes to them and was just turning around and telling them to me, and I was laughing my head off. And it was a disaster. The woman whose fella's birthday it was like pushing through the crowd and getting to the microphone. She was bladdered and she was going, "You best fucking pay attention now. We've paid good money for this." She was like fuming. She was heckling the audience. You know it's a rough gig when the scariest person in the crowd is on your side and you're still terrified of them. You know what I mean? She was the person I was most scared of there. And she had to interrupt this set like 3 or 4 times to shout at them to shut up. But when I got up, I just kind of like, I had the boss time. I was just dead chill. I talked to the people who wanted to talk to me. And I had a laugh with them about how mental it was. Yeah. And every now and then I'd just do experiments, and I was like, "Hey, do you reckon if I start singing Happy Birthday now, everyone will join in?" Everyone paying attention, so I'd sing Happy Birthday. That'd get the best fucking reaction. At one point I just started singing Agadoo to see if the pissheads would join in, and they did. It was like they were puppets. I had control. Yeah, it was fun, actually, for a mad gig. Halfway through the gig, someone at the back shouted, I was like, "What?" I was like, "Say it again slowly. Do you want a line?" "No, mate, I'm alright. I'm trying to do this comedy show here." I know, mate. So that was probably like the roughest gig. I mean, there's another contender. Another contender springs to mind. But this was like, I wouldn't say it was rough. It was just, you know, when sometimes you find yourself in situations and you think, how did I get here? But I did a gig at a biker rally. Like a biker rally.
Rally sounds like it's going to be a bit like Donald Trump. I'm just going to be getting up, helmets on everywhere, throwing them.
It's still to this day probably the biggest audience I've ever performed in front of. Like I applied for it. The guy who runs the gig, the banner for the gig, it's Smacked Arse Comedy. It's called, and the logo, it's like it should have been a warning sign. I say a warning sign just straight up. Boss gig, I'd 100% do it again. I loved it.
Yeah.
They were amazing. But like the logo was like a fucking like a biker with like a woman over him as he's slapping her ass, and it said Smacked Arse Comedy. That was what it was called. So I was like, okay, this is going to be
Someone has done that in their spare time.
A designer's made.
I studied Photoshop for 2 years. And this is what I'm doing.
Do you reckon we should make the arse a bit bigger?
It's not red enough. Make it redder.
Try maroon.
And I get there and it's like swarming with bikers.
Yeah.
It's insane. There's so many bikes, so many people. It's like a festival. I'm like, fucking hell. And the marquee where the stage was banging, so many people there. And I walked in like, they're going to eat me alive. Like, I don't even think this is a gig. I think this is a sacrifice.
You're a lamb. You're a lamb going to the slaughter here.
I've been brought here under false pretenses. And the MC, someone who knew him made a comment about it, about like how sober he was. They were like, and it was only like, it was a day gig. We're talking like midday. I think stage time was around 2, Joe. Like for me, so I think this is around midday. They're like, I'm surprised how sober you are. You know, usually you're off your rocker by now and that. And he was like, no, I'm behaving myself today. And then he just kind of like pondered, and he went, do you know what? No, I'll have a little treat. And he disappeared, and he come back. And he just threw down like a bag full of brown powder. Brown powder.
I'm being good. This is me good day. It's only Tuesday.
It was not Demerara sugar. I'll tell you. I found out later it was speed, right? It was speed, and he had like a tube that looked like a rolled up 20. So you know he's a professional at it when he's gone out.
He's bought
like a faux £20.
Like,
yeah, I'm not using actual money here. Like, I bought this tube, and he did some speed and that, and he was MCing, and do you know what? You wouldn't have known. He was sound. He was just having a great time. He was just energetic and enjoying himself. But that like made me think, what the fuck is going on here? This is mental. This, and mate, they were like the one of the nicest, most like warm crowds I've ever performed for. They were sick. It's mad, isn't it? The people who like you look at and they're wearing like, you know, people covered in tattoos or wearing leather jackets and that. You think, oh, these are solid, or these are a bit mad, or they're like off kilter. Yeah. They're like the nicest, most normal. It's the normal people
that are the worst.
The wreckheads.
Yeah. And the people who just start shouting stuff out when you're at gigs and all that.
Because they're comfortable with who they are. That's they wear it on the outside. Do you know what I mean? So they've got nothing to hide. There's no false pretenses. Whereas like the normies are the ones where you're like, oh, you've got some fucking secrets buried. I saw you in the Fiddler's Free. I know what you're doing.
I've got your name and number. I know who you are.
I saw one of Aaron's clips recently.
Yeah.
And I think there was a scrap kicked off at the comedy night or something.
Yeah.
Because of some jokes. Have you ever upset someone so much that they've kicked off in that way?
Yeah. I was about to give this big like diatribe of no, they're likeable me. I'm cheeky. And to be fair, like I've said like things that if they didn't come out of my mouth might have caused problems,
right.
But I get away with it because I'm not being serious either, and I've got that kind of like I'm dead affable on stage, like friendly and that, so I can get away with like saying I'll smash your head in to women.
I'm smiling, so it's fine. It's a joke.
Because people know I won't. And to be honest, the likelihood is they'd smash my head in. Let's be honest. So I've not really had many problems, but I did a gig in Hull, like a rough gig in Hull,
right.
like the arse end
of Hull. Good start.
Yeah.
It's the start of the story one.
It was a pub gig as well, like, and this like there was this table at the back that just were talking and didn't give a fuck. But whereas like last night where no one gave a fuck and there was people paying attention and they were enjoying how much no one else gave a fuck. It was all part of like the fun, and we were laughing at how mad the situation was last night. But this was different. It was like everyone had paid for a ticket, and the people who were paying attention were wanting comedy.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And were fuming that this table was like talking and interrupting. So I was like addressing it. And as I was addressing it, like I was talking to, just like I couldn't see them. I had lights in my face. I just knew the table was at the back. And this woman was like, "Are you talking to me?" And I was like, "Well, I'm looking in your general direction. So yeah, I presume I'm talking to you." And she was like, "Well, why are you picking on me? Because I'm a girl and not the fellas." You know, tried to like make me out to be a knobhead. And I was trying to like diffuse the situation. And I was successfully. I got her laughing. Even though I thought she was going to like slash the tyres of my car. But then I was
she's
just
laughing while she's doing it, so it's alright.
But then she was like, I was poking the bear as well. So I'd like diffuse it. I'd get her laughing, I'd get her on side, and then I'd cut her with the comments, and she'd be like fuming again. And I was like, "Oh, what am I doing here?" And I have never like got out of a venue quicker, because that was the type of place where she would have filled me in. She would have hands down filled me in, battered me. But other than that, it's not really been
quite a nice time, huh? We always enjoy ourselves.
I'd go again.
What's that the furthest away place have you like gigged at then?
Probably. I mean, when I first started, because I like did comedy for a couple of years, like a while back. When I'm 30 now. I did when I was 23. I did like a handful of gigs in like 18 months, like dead sporadic.
Yeah.
Sort of like dipped my toes in the water. Did a few competitions and that. Got to the semi-finals. Like, So You Think You're Funny. So I got to like Edinburgh and that. But I was never really like serious about it. It was just a hobby that was getting out of hand, and I was half shit. And I just like stopped, picked it up like a couple of years later.
Yeah.
So in that first like period, I did like a couple in competitions in London. So London's probably like the furthest I've been. But I don't really think about like that, because that wasn't when I was like proper, trying and going for it.
Yeah.
Like really like loving doing it. So since I've been going like regularly, it's like Newcastle like about 3.5 hours drive up north.
I bet it's a good laugh in Newcastle.
I bet.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, I bet it's a quality laugh there.
They're just boss people. I feel dead like I don't know why, but I feel like sort of Scousers and Geordies. There's like this.
You see that said all
like
the time.
A kindred spirit between us. Like it just reminds me of hot water. So it feels like that's similar. Everyone is always up for a laugh. And my nan was a Geordie. Like so. It's just like I love being around the accent.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Right.
And the club there, the stand is fire. It's boss. Like they pack it out like midweek. It's one of the best clubs I've played at. Like I love going there. So it's worth the drive. Like I love going to Newcastle, but I don't get to stick around. So I'm literally like drive all the way there. It's
problem in it, yeah.
Drive all the way back because I can't afford like a hotel and that. So I get and I'm fucked at work the next day. Last gig I did at the stand, I did actually like smash it. Like it was a boss gig. I had a dead good gig, where everything's just like bang,
everything,
bang bang bang. And I was trying to eat like better, not eat shite, so not get like Mackies after gigs. Like I'm fucking sure you're well aware of being a DJ.
Them late night Mackies hit different, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you pay some wages in Mackies, the amount you spend there, because I know I do.
That's sort of some affinity there between your two eyes and your eyes locked. And you're like,
I'll be good today. I'll just have a triple cheeseburger with extra cheese.
Yeah, watch me figure. I'll have 6 nuggets instead of the usual 20. But I was like, nah, I'll take some food. And I was like sat in my car. Me and my mate did the gig together. We drove down. And we were sat in the car just eating before driving off. And I was like, how rock and roll is this? I've just like smashed it to a comedy club in Newcastle, and now I'm eating boiled eggs in my car. Just eating boiled eggs that I'd pre-boiled and brought with me. No sauce or nothing. Straight boiled
taking
eggs.
your own little egg cutter there. One where you have like a little chicken on it all the time. Just got him. Rock and roll.
Dippy eggs,
Yeah.
Brought me on salt and pepper. It's the life, lads.
That's a life. It's a life for the stand-up comedian. There's a clip. There we go.
There we go, mate.
It's the closest I'll ever get to feeling like a fucking rock star. Do you know what I mean? I can't play no instruments. Like the smashing a gig is like the best.
Oh
feeling.
yeah, definitely.
That's what we're chasing. So to go from that And like seeing the people as well. Geordies are just good looking people. The fellas, the girls, everyone's fucking sexy. And I'm like, you sexy people find me sexy now, I presume, because you just give me your approval through laughter. And then I'm just fucking munching eggs.
I like how you say you presume. You should always go up to him and just be like, do you find me sexy now? Do you find me sexy now? Just go around the whole room.
That's the only reason I do comedy. I just want people to think I'm sexy.
That should be your tagline now on Instagram.
Find me sexy.
Give me 20 minutes and see if you find me sexy. There we go.
The only person that doesn't work on is me missus. She's like, shut the fuck up. Every time you open your mouth, I find you less sexy.
I've got a story similar to that one.
Yeah.
So I did a gig once. It was a Saturday night gig, so it was packed out. Dead good gig, you know. And then, but before my gig, I was like, I'm gonna be good tonight. So I went to Tesco and got myself a meal deal. They didn't have any butties though, so I got myself a pasta, thinking there's gonna be a fork in it. There's gonna be a fork in it, right? And I set off back and I opened this tub. I eat it while I'm driving back. Shouldn't really. I'm like, what the fuck's this fork?
I don't have the steady hands to do that. Like.
There was no fork in the tub. But luckily, I'd bought a tub of Pringles. And you know the lid?
Adapt, improvise, overcome.
I was like, it's either that or the fingers.
Do you have a degree in engineering? Yeah. Because that is some like next level problem solving.
Dragon's Den. Here we go. Make it into
what it is, mate.
a fork in the Pringles lid. Imagine putting a camera. But was this like 4:30 in the morning as well? Oh dear, I bet that was a pretty sight.
Your nights are so much later than mine. I didn't even think about that. Like, where's the furthest you've been?
Furthest I've been, just Liverpool.
Yeah.
I've not really done any gigs that far afield. But
you don't have to, do you? There's like loads of demand, isn't there? Like, especially if you're like good at it. And that. I'm saying that as if I'm cool and I fucking know. I don't have a fucking clue. I don't have a fucking clue. Yeah, clubs and that. Yeah, drinks. I like them as well.
What's your favourite type of vodka?
The white one. Yeah. The clear one.
I do always love though when I get up for work. I get up at like 7 o'clock, 6:30. I always send Dan a message sometimes with podcast related, and he'll just reply just as he's getting home, and I'm like, oh dear.
Yeah.
Like, how different can our lives be?
Do you have like a day job as well, or is it?
No, just DJing. Yeah.
Dream, innit?
Yeah,
doing what you want for money.
Yeah,
piece of shit. Living the good life. Yeah.
Go for money.
Yeah, just kick us while we're down, mate. That's fine. That's fine. I just do this on a Monday at like 7 o'clock in the evening usually.
This is a swift turn, mate. But talking about doing things you love for money. So I heard a little rumor, right, that you might have took a low offer on a certain program.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, so
defamation of character. Talk to me, lawyers.
This is a defamation of character of what we're about to say, because I cannot believe what I heard when I got told this. So, how long ago was it when you were on? Very
respectable program.
Yeah.
About 2015, I think, was when it was shown. Yeah, no, 2015 it was, so it was a long time ago, like, yeah. It was around the time I was, like, coming to the end of doing comedy the first time around.
How bad was your cash builder to take that off? This is the chase, by the way, for anyone who's
Took lower off on the chase, fucking judge me. Not asked. Stand by my decision, motherfuckers. I trained for the chase. I was...
Did you have a ball game? Did you have all the ball games?
Shadow boxing.
Bradley
Walsh. Let's have it, Brad. I know you're on my side. Like, fuck you. Yeah, so I was like doing the Chase app to train for it. Like, I downloaded the app.
You revised.
I revised on the Chase, like.
Yeah, they're not the same questions.
Yeah, but I needed the strategy. That's what it was. Past papers, too, right? So I worked in a shop, and one of my favourite, like, I had a reputation for being a shitty ass in the shop because I'd always be having a shit, but I was never having a shit. I was just sat on the toilet on my phone. I'd rather people think that I had a shitty ass than do the job. I hated the job. So I was just like, that was my chase time. I was like training for the chase, and I just every time I took the lower offer on the app, I'd get to the end every time. Maybe like give or take, but when I just take,
gotta back yourself though.
But when I would, it genuinely was like 50-50. It depended on the questions and that. Like I needed that little bit of leeway. But I did back myself. I just thought to myself,
I back myself. I just went for lesser, you know.
Well, you've got to fucking. I trained for this. Don't fucking. That's the people look at things on face value. I am learned in the chase. Yeah. I had more chase experience than you've ever had. Right, playing that app, and I was just like. It all depends on what my cash builder is and what the lower offer is, and I'll just see what happens. So my cash builder was not until like brag about. It was probably, I think it was $4,000. I
would take that. I've seen a lot worse than $4,000. I'll take
$4,000 in the cash builder. Yeah, there was 2 people already back. Can't remember what theirs were, but 2 people were already back. I was the 3rd one. Yeah, they offered me $1,000 on the lower offer. So it was a positive offer. I would never take negative.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that when you. I would never take negative, and I just thought of it like, they've got more chance of winning that if I'm back there because there's more heads together. It's $1,000.
And they've already got 40k in the bank. So I mean,
they didn't. I think it was. Well, no, the 4th person didn't get through. So it was just us 3 in the final chase. And I worked it out. It would have been like 3,300 something each. Think of that as you will. It was the difference between 3,300 something each or 4,300 something each. I was like, I'm taking the lower offer. So that's why I did it, mate. And
did you get booed? Did you get booed out the studio?
There is no studio audience in the chase. It's all
really?
Is it not?
There's just a laugh track. Do you know, it's so low tech, it's mental. It is mental. It's the first time I've ever been in like a TV studio, and you would be surprised how like low tech it is. Do you know like the selection buttons?
Yeah.
There's literally like a piece of paper that says A, B, and C, like sellotaped onto a button.
Yeah.
Genuinely. I would, like my head fell off. I couldn't believe it.
And then is it like a screen that you see the question pop up?
Yeah, you look up and it's just like a normal telly that the questions are on, and they have like an independent adjudicator there. So like in the final chase, like Bradley fluffed up asking a question. So they would stop the game. And they stopped it and they set the clock back and stuff. Do you know? So it was like fair and because there's money to be won. It has to be like legally fair or something. Yeah, it was mad. Like I never expected to get on it. It started as a joke that just escalated.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
My mate was like,
did you win?
No, we just missed out.
Who was it against?
She was brand new at the time, the Vixen.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say, because do you know Paul Sinner? Because obviously he's a...
No, I've never met him.
Oh, because he's stand-up comedian. Imagine you walked and you went, yes, Paul. Imagine that. Stand-up comedian.
It is right, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, you all right, lad?
He'd still be like, who the fuck are you? Yeah, so it was the Vixen. She'd not been on the chase at that point. She'd not been on telly, so I had to sign an NDA and that to not tell anyone about it. So naturally, I told anyone who'd listen. It's a new chaser, you know.
Just start talking to people in Greg's. In the queue. Hey, Jenny, remember the name?
Why are you presuming I'd be in Greg's?
Mate, we love Greg.
This is becoming a bit of a theme here, but what's she go to Greg's on about?
Really, yeah? You're going to ask me that question?
Oh, no, yeah, we love Greg's.
I'm not ashamed about it. Like, I will go on record and say that Greg's is the best breakfast out of all the fast food chains.
Really?
Fuck Mackey's. Fuck a Mackey's breakfast. It's shite.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing. I'm on your side of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Mate, the wrap was the only thing
worth
it, yeah. And even that was like the best of a bad bunch, in my opinion. I mean, the hash browns are fire. Can't deny the McDonald's hash browns are fire. But Greg's, mate, just fucking good value for money. Bacon, sausage, brown sauce. You know that.
Yeah.
It's rare to catch me in a Greg's outside of breakfast because I love a breakfast there. If it wasn't breakfast, I would just get like a sausage roll, a sausage and bean melt.
Love that. It's got to be 2. Everyone agrees. It has to be 2. You can't get one thing from Greg's.
Look at me, mate. I'm throwing on a third.
Yes, so do I. Dan mocked me for this over the past few weeks. So yes.
It usually depends what else is on, to be fair. Like, I'll have like sometimes I'll have a second sausage roll, but if there's like the festive bake, I'll smash a festive bake.
You're my spirit animal, mate. Yeah, perfect. 10 out of 10. Thank you.
10 out of 10.
Passed.
Well, festive bake, sausage, bean and cheese, and then we got a sausage roll.
Yeah. You might feel like death after it, and your fingers might be covered in
I don't feel too bad after a Greg's.
I don't usually feel too bad.
That's because you don't eat free.
I can't breathe.
I'm full after my chicken bake.
You go for a chicken bake, do you?
Yeah.
Fair. You could say anything from Greg's. I'd be like, I can see the value in that. Yeah. But we had a lad on last week who was vegan. He was like, I have a vegan sausage, bean and cheese. And I went, I'll still give that a try.
Sound, you know, like my missus is vegan, so the best thing about it being vegan. The worst thing about it being vegan is when we'd go out for food, we'd be like on the same wavelength. We'd order like 2 mains and split them down the middle. So you're getting like, I don't get that anymore. But what I do get is that when she gets something, I get to try it. She can't try mine. So I'm at like a net gain.
Mate.
Yeah.
So I try all the vegan stuff, and the Greg's sausage, the Greg's vegan sausage rolls are surprising. Fuck you, Piers Morgan. The sound, you knobhead. But they are.
That's clipped on your social media. Don't worry, we'll send it over to you. Don't worry, you can use that.
But I'm looking at this camera. Are you even going to use that?
We use that quite often, mate. Do you know what I do now? Every single time you're talking to that camera, I might just flip it
to the wrong one.
Yeah, just keep flicking to the one that you're not looking at. Just play a game myself in the edit. We'll have two versions. One where Liam looks at the camera, one where he doesn't.
You can tell he's the comedian at this table.
Hey, who snitched me up? Who grassed me on the chase?
Guess.
It wasn't Aaron, was it?
It was, mate.
You fucking scumbag. I don't even think we've even talked about it at length, the little piece of shit. He's probably too ashamed. He can't look me in the eye when he brings it up.
I mean, I was disappointed when I heard it.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm a fucking champion. And I've been on the show
You know-
with you.
Better than you.
How many shots would you have had at the middle question?
Oh yeah, like, how many questions
How
did
many
you
were
have
you
left?
Do you know what? I actually did have room to play. I
Did you?
could have probably. Do you know what? Like it was surprisingly like the right questions came up for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was all right. I had an all right go of it. The woman who went on after me didn't make it
She's
to
a
the
nightmare.
back, and the Bradley said to her like, "Do you wish you'd taken the lower offer?" And she was like, "I would never take the lower offer." And I'm sat back on the front thing like, "Fuck you, bitch." And you sat here. No. Maybe you should have took the lower offer.
Imagine who should have walked past and just eyeballed you the whole.
She walks past.
Show him a little break,
Fucking
boys.
sass me. Talk shit to me.
I've got no idea where part 2 is going to go.
We'll see, mate.
This
We'll
is
see.
fun. We'll see you in part 2, people.
Little trick of the trade. Got a podcast myself, I know this.
Yeah, got
I spread
podcast
negativity pods on social media.
So welcome back, guys.
on. Welcome back. Should we bring it back in when you do that little plug? Tricks of the trade. We had a few revelations during that break there where we just got to dive straight into it. As soon as you said it, I was like, ran straight over to the table, press play. We're not missing this.
I just can't switch off. I've been chatting shit this whole break.
Yeah, but that's what we do. Like some of our guests, where like they just spend hours and hours, especially when it used to be my flat. Sometimes Dad had to go to work. He'd have to leave at like 9. We'd film at like 6, and then at 9, the guests would still be in my living room just chatting away. Chatting away. Just not leaving, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. This is sound. I'm having a great time.
You love a chat though, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I just chat people's ear off.
Yeah.
That's not why you got a podcast. I love it as well. That's
Got
the
it.
same.
I need an excuse to talk to people. So
Yeah.
you're perfect. Now.
That's like what me and all my mates bonded over. That's why we had like our podcast together. Tough House, it's still on there online if you want to check it out. Yeah, we don't promote it at all, but it still manages to get like some downloads, which I think is probably my mates just downloading
It's
it
on
and repeat.
Beatport though, isn't it? Did you?
Podbean, we uploaded it on there,
Podbean,
so
yeah.
you can still get it wherever you get your podcasts. It's like my name, TUFF House. Imaginatively, because my name's Tuffy and my mate who did it with his name is Stonehouse, and there was actually 3 of us who did it, but the third one can fuck off.
I thought you were going to say like, my name is Liam Tuffy and I filmed it in my house.
Yeah, Tough House. We just chat shit. That's what we've always done. We're still like they're my best mates from school, and we're still my best mates now. It's nothing better than chatting wham.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so good. We've learned that now when you get people on that you don't even know and just click with you and you can just talk absolutely shit with them for ages. It's
Yeah,
even better.
that's the one, mate.
It's
That's the one.
quality. That's why we started getting guests on, and now we're just never. I don't think I don't want to do many non-guest episodes now. I think.
What he's saying is he's sick of you.
Basically, yeah.
Need someone
Basically,
else as
Dan,
well.
you're boring.
So we're getting people on. Hey, wait for a new brand. Wait for the new brand. The offbeat with Luke.
He's going to start DJing just to keep the name.
This is a fun episode. We're still got another part to go. I mean, we were chatting in the break, weren't we, about some of the people
you have gigged with.
Yeah, you gigged with, yeah.
I say gigged with. It's gigged on the same bill as.
Yeah,
it's a bit different, isn't it?
No, you're still gigging with them,
Yeah.
aren't you? Because you're in the same bill. It's like, you're like a team, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the biggest person that I've gigged with, as I was saying before, was Jack Whitehall. Not that he would have a fucking clue who I am. And I think he's a piece of shit because of this gig.
He warmed up for you though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Because I had to follow him, and that's why I think he's a piece of shit.
Mental,
mate. It was completely mental. It was a new act night. It was like you've heard of Beat the Frog, haven't you?
Yeah.
We were talking about it before. Beat the Frog, the Gong Show in the Frog and Bucket in Manchester. Just for anyone who's not, this is me fucking podcast in me coming out. But anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a Gong Show. It's like rife of new acts, brand new to comedy. You've got to last 5 minutes. There's 3 people in the crowd with a card. If all 3 go up, you're off. Even if you're smashing it and those 3 people don't like you, you're off. I've had that happen at Gong before.
Yeah.
I've been like, hold on, I thought it was
funny
going
stories.
all right. Yeah, the mental. And I was brand new. I'm talking like months into it, but only like a handful of gigs, and I'd only done a handful of gongs and that. Dead new, like the first round of me doing comedy, and they had like the running order, the way they used to do Beat the Frog. I'm fucking burping on the mic, professional. They don't do it like this anymore, but it used to be like two openers doing an 8-minute set each who have previously won.
Okay.
The gong.
Yeah.
Then a break, and then the competition starts with another break in the middle of the competition. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this time it had the 2 openers and then special guest. And then a break, and then the competition, and no one knew who the special guest was, and we're just like, oh cool, special guest. We're watching the show, and fucking Jack Whitehall comes at. He's probably at the height of his power now. He's on telly, and he's in like Hollywood films now. But this was the height of him kind of coming up.
So was this when he just started going on like Mock the Week and that? When he was
when he was on telly, it felt like he was on telly all the time. Whenever Channel 4 needed someone hosting,
8 out of 10 cats, he was always on there.
He had like his own show. So like I remember that he had a show called like the TNT show and shit. He just like he just seemed to be he hosted like fucking Big Brother's bit on the side and that. So he was everywhere. So I was like, holy shit, Jack Whitehall, and he was just doing new stuff. Like that's why pros go to like nights like that.
Best way to be.
To like test out new stuff. He wasn't up against the cards or nothing because it was in like that opening section, but everyone was like buzzing because it was him, and he was getting a dead good reaction, and I was the first in the competition. So whilst everyone's having a great time, Jack Whitehall, I'm like that, my head's falling off, like I've got to go on after him.
I just sat there crying, shaking in the corner, like, just rocking.
I was just like fuck. I was like, when you start, stand-up can be anxiety inducing. It's not so much for me anymore. I'm not trying to cocky or nothing. You just get used to things. I mean, I still get nervous, but only because I care and I want to do well. I don't get like cripplingly nervous, but then I did. It was like, because you're not... I was going to say half shit, but you're just shit. You are shit, and you're trying to figure it all out. And I was like, fuck. Like, I've got to go on. And I get up. So he's been on, and there's a break. Fair enough, there's a break. Compare comes on, warms everyone up, and I go on, and I said my opening line. Can't even remember what it was, but I said my opening line and blew them up. The laughter was immense. They were amazing, and I was like, oh my god, I'm actually doing all right. And my head fell off so much that I just forgot my material. They gonged us off, and I was like, fuck Jack Whitehall. You could have gone anywhere, you rich prick. You come to the Frog and Bucket, my gaff. Already been there, like, already done Beat the Frog like 3 times, my fucking gaff. This is my house. Yeah, blew me mind, to be fair. Couldn't believe it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I remember Dan said a story, sort of the story that you said, included you when he did Beat a Frog not too long ago.
Yeah.
When he just turned up and people didn't realise who he was, and it's literally his face was on the card. People were just like, people didn't even know who he was, and he's like, you hold up a picture of my card. I'm like,
what's that? Sorry.
So on the Beat the Frog, his face is on the card, like they hold up. Dan Nightingale.
Dan Nightingale.
And he was telling a story where he just like turned up to do new material. And like people just didn't know who he was, even though it's his face literally on the card constantly. He didn't even stick around.
He started Beat the Frog, and big props to him for that. I've never seen anything like that with a pro doing that. Like I said, Jack Whitehall did it. He wasn't up against the cards. They didn't even like introduce like Dan as Dan. They obviously said his name, but they didn't big him up or say who he was or that he was a pro. They just brought him on as if he was another one, and he went up against the cards with new material. And he, like, no pro has to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're risking too. Like, it's new stuff. You don't know how it's. Well, I don't know how new it was, you know, but like it. You know, what if it goes bad? How are you going to tell your mates? You know what I mean? Like, but he fucking Danny hoofed it anyway.
Yeah.
But it was like he did not have to do that, and it was impressive to see. To be fair, yeah, smashed it.
I bet you see who like on a bill with you. Have you seen like who fit the most? Like who do you always like? You're there like, oh, I don't want to follow him ever again. Like
It's my.
So I've seen some people at Aaron's comedy night who have just absolutely like just nailed it. Dan's one of them where I just watched him and I was like, mate,
Yeah, there's
you can just
loads.
tell straight away.
Adam was unreal.
Adam's funny, yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, fucking. I'm in the middle spot. Me, I'm not fucking going on after.
I've seen some middle spots like Kyle Legacy. I've seen Kyle absolutely like just nail it out of the water. And what's he called? I always forget his name. He's one of Aaron's good mates. He's from like Salford. He's just a proper mank lad.
Carl Porter.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I watched him, I was like, "You are absolutely
blonde hair.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He was
And
funny, yeah.
He's a good mate of mine, Carl
hilarious.
Porter, and I'll tell you now, it was him I did that gig with last night. I've just named you, lad.
Yeah, but you got a shout out for being really good, mate. So there you go.
So fuck you, Carl, because he said you're good, and I know you're good, but you still do shit gigs with me.
He nailed it. He did this one bit where he was like doing like football celebrations, and I was
sick.
literally like crying on the floor, and I was like, "This is so fucking." Funny.
I love like his set, mate, because what impresses me so much about him, we were talking about different types of comedy before, and I try and like do stories and that, but I like kind of build after. I don't really do act outs it's not like my strength. I do a little bit of it, but I proper have to try and paint the picture with me words. Like Carl is so good at doing it with his actions, and it's so far away from. He still tells stories, but it's still so far away from the way I do it. It impresses me.
Yeah.
So like I do really like watching his set. Now me and him had a proper laugh last night, even though it was a complete car crash. He was like fucking. We were up on like you call it a green room. We were just like fucking behind the stage. But
where the cakes are.
We were up on a. There was not even a book. She came out with the sandwiches between me and Carl. I was thinking, how the fuck am I supposed to? You got vol-au-vents there. I'm not fucking, no one was paying attention before the vol-au-vents. They're definitely not going to now. And we were up on like a up a little. Like, I wouldn't even call it a flight of stairs, just a few steps, but we were raised. So Carl at one point like was trying to do a bit, and he just weren't really asked, and he just turned around to like I was laughing at the bit or what he just said, and he turned around to us, and he went, hey look, I'm gonna do the elevator, and he just like did the elevator down the fucking raised bit, and I was just killing myself laughing because I love that when a comic is like. When a comic is just so not asked that they're making because the audience quite clearly don't give a shit. They're just trying to make the other comics laugh. Yeah. And I was killing myself laughing. He's that funny, Carl. But yeah, to answer your question, there's loads of people who I'd probably not want to follow, but I'd still do it. I'd still
of
try.
course, yeah, you'd always give it a go.
I'd still try. Like, it's a good challenge. Like, to be fair, like I did a hot water new material night with Aaron a few weeks back, and me and him were in the last section, and he was on before me. I was at the end, and like my new stuff I knew was like half shit. It was brand new, and Aaron was going up with new stuff, and his new stuff was he smashed it with a bit of crowd work off the top, and his new stuff was boss, and I was like, I want to fucking struggle to follow him, and I did. To be fair, it was hard work. It still did all right, but he was definitely like one of the strongest. Like, but don't fucking tell him this. I'm gutted I said that out loud on record on a podcast. Fuck you, Aaron. You shit.
Do you ever do crowd work?
But not like so Aaron like MCs his own night. He MCs loads, doesn't he? I've only done like a handful of MC gigs, but I don't shy away from crowd work, and that's why I like last night was Sam, because I was Sam just chatting. Like last night I did a 20-minute set. I told half of 2 jokes that I have. The rest was just fucking chatting.
Just having a laugh, really. Yeah.
Basically, like taking a piss, threatening to rob a flat cap off an old fella. Like it was just like a mad gig. So yeah, I don't shy away from crowd work, but MCing's not something I've done much of. Yeah. It's the admin of it that winds me up, especially on like a lot of the open mics that'll give me an MC spot because I'm not like a regular MC on a pro night. there's like several acts, so it's just fucking exhausting. Remember everyone's names and being like, you know, round of applause for this person, then getting off and come back on. Like the opening bits of sound because you're doing like crowd work material, but it's the in betweens. There's that many people. It's like on and off, on and off, on and off, and I need to do more of it. But sometimes I'm just dead self-centered. I'd rather just do my own set.
It's quite good though because you can see like obviously Dean Coughlin. Like I've seen him. I saw him at Aaron's gigs a few times where he was doing like just middle slots, and now he's kind of gone into MCing and he's doing his own events, and it just looked like so much fun. Like you can always see. I always find like MCs, they always look like they're having more fun than the acts are a lot of the time whenever I'm there because it's
like more. Laugh, aren't you? There's less pressure in theory because you're not doing your set, you're just chatting, but then there's also more pressure because you don't know what's going to happen. But it's kind of like being an MC. You are like it's like the line between an audience member and the crowd. You're bridging the gap, aren't you? So obviously you're a comedian, and the best MCs are amazing at comedy, but you just like, you don't have to be like bang 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 like if you're doing a set. But like an MC will a skilled MC will be boss at like pulling stuff out of the crowd and getting them big laughs. So you'll probably find there's not as like much consistent bang bang bang, but they'll get big laughs like because it's more of a shared moment rather than a pre-planned set. I
love watching the clips on YouTube all the time, like Danny Mac and
I like watching Paul Smith.
And Paul Smith, like the clips on YouTube is so funny because you just tell it's real.
They're both fire.
Yeah, it's unreal.
See Danny Mac all the time. He's just so impressive. Like his MC, and he's unbelievable.
Is
again, I'm looking like a kiss ass here.
Oh mate,
we need to start beef.
All I'm gonna say is like the amount of like we just always talk up everybody. We never talk down anyone. It's really our problem. Like we just need to start being aggressive and just
flag someone off.
It's just like off.
We need to do a diss track.
Adam Wood.
I mean, Aaron's been on the podcast, so we can't. Let's go someone really big.
Someone really big.
Danny Mac. Oh mate. Tell you what, we said he's good at MCing, but he's stand-up work.
I didn't say nothing. He'll come to you.
And his podcast is so average.
He listens to too much.
It's not. It's so not. I literally listen to all of his podcasts and I'm like...
He listens to too much gangster rap for me to try and start beef with him. Fucking Tupac and Biggie.
Just because you listen to gangster rap, mate, don't mean... He listens to gangster rap.
So do I. Don't judge me. Fucking do. Who you listening to?
Fucking whoever's on, mate. So, talking about gangster rap, do you have a walkout tune?
Yeah, honestly, if I ever get to choose a walkout tune, it's without a doubt the next episode by Dr. Dre.
Oh yeah,
genuinely, that 2001, that album, innit? Yeah, it's like just flawless in my opinion. I love that. I don't look the guy, I don't look the type, do I?
I rate that though. Like, the walkout song's massive as well.
What would your walkout tune be? Say if you're like,
I don't know.
Say if you're a pro wrestler.
Okay, well, we actually did. We talked about this in our brief at work the other day. I don't even know. I couldn't think of anything like tongue in cheek, quite funny. But I'll probably like Bon Jovi or something.
Bon Jovi.
A little bit of Bon Jovi. But you,
which song?
Probably. See, I like Always. That's like one of my favourite songs. But you can't come out to like a power ballad, can you?
I don't know it.
Go on, give us a rendition.
You've got to sing it for us, mate.
No. Please don't.
I probably will. You'll probably play it if you play it.
I'll play it. Yeah. But just anything from Bon Jovi, I'd be happy with. I'd be happy with. But you need something like. Do you do a Dr. Dre because you just like the song, or is it kind of like a bit tongue in cheek?
I love the song. I think it's just like a boss intro to a song. So like the
piano.
It's just the sick, like the instrumentals up front, and then obviously it's like when you hear that, the last thing you expect to walk out is fucking me. So I like that as well. But I also want to feel gangster, like when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You need to hype yourself up as
you
well.
It's like when you're walking down the street and you got your earphones in.
Yeah.
I'm listening to some like drum and bass heavy sometimes. I'm just walking past like, I feel on top of the world when we're people are probably looking at me like he's got Little Mix on there, and he's got Little Mix and Girl Delight playing.
Not wrong with that.
Sometimes I do. Who knows?
One of my mates had like this was years ago now. I'm definitely not naming them, but they had a job in like a Weatherspoons in Birkenhead at the time, which I don't know. You know Birkenhead. It's fucking its reputation precedes itself. It's fucking shithole on the Wirral.
The beach in Birkenhead.
Is that a place? Is that
club.
Oh, that's a club.
I was saying
yeah.
the beach in Birkenhead. That's
I
lovely.
can see it now. I've never been in, but I've drove past it. Like Birkenhead's not. I'm from Wallasey, so I'm not that far from Birkenhead.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, people from Liverpool like to wind me up calling me a Birkenheader, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Just want that on the record. I'm giving people ammunition here on this podcast. You should fucking set me up. And a mate of mine was working in the Spoons there, which was a rough Spoons. And at the end of the night, some of the staff were going out on a night out, probably to fucking the beach.
Yeah.
And his manager was like locking up, but went, "Do you want a key of like Coke?" Like his manager offered him a key of Coke, and he was like, "Yeah, go ahead then." But the difference was that they were all going on a night out, and he was just going home. So he said he had his headphones on, just walking down the street, you know, because he had like fucking extra confidence. He was just singing his head off, like along to the songs on it, just giving it the big one at the bus stop, just proper singing, going for it. And I was like, "What did you do after that?" And he was like, "Stayed up till 6 a.m. I was like, "Doing what?" And he was like, "Mass Effect. Got some missions done."
Yeah.
He's not on to himself. I bet he was proud. I bet he was proud of that. I bet he thought no regrets after all. Not every single evening is there.
How did we get even gone? I don't even know what's going on.
Sometimes when I'm in the edit, I'm watching this back and I'm like, how did we get in? We have like very big like DJs and stuff coming on.
Yeah.
And I'm just there like, why are we talking about Greg's?
Started with Jack Whitehall in this section, got to cocaine, and those two things go hand in hand. He was in the newspaper for it once, I remember.
He was, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, bringing up your scandals,
Scandal.
Jack. You fuck me that night, I fuck you now. Yeah.
It's going to be all over Twitter, this. All over Twitter.
No Mark, Liam Tuffy calls out fucking multi-millionaire and Hollywood actor Clifford the Big Red Knobhead. That's what his fucking name is. Savage Jack.
I mean, you meet him go, "Hi Jack, hi sir, you okay?" It's been a pleasure.
You said we needed to start beef.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worth.
Like it, mate.
Start, I rate it. Why not?
I'm being too much, aren't I?
No, mate. Love it.
I want a comedian's perspective on one of our age-old questions on the Offbeat podcast.
Go for it.
So we always ask a big one. Well, we've not asked it for a while, but what is the biggest animal that you could beat in a fight?
Probably a fucking chihuahua. Talk a big game, but not. I mean, a squirrel, gerbil, boot them. Do you know what I'm done with? Chihuahuas are fucking vicious. Cats,
Yeah, vicious.
cats, fucking. I wouldn't.
I
fuck
wouldn't
with a cat.
Yeah.
I
Cats are
would
not
fuck
for
with
me.
a cat.
Yeah.
No, fuck cats, man.
Have you seen? Did you see the documentary?
Yeah.
Oh mate, that's scary shit. Let's talk about murder now. Yeah.
This is what we're here for. That's what people are like, yes! 28 weeks and we finally on murder. Straight away. What the people want, mate.
Yeah, mate.
What
That
the
murder
people
podcasts are the shit.
Oh, mate, yeah. It's actually weird. Like, so sometimes, like, so my girlfriend, she has to listen to something that she can't go to sleep when it's quiet.
Okay.
In the room, so we always have to have like a podcast playing or a YouTube video playing, and she puts on murder podcast to fall asleep.
Jesus Christ.
Eyes wide open, like.
No, well, she finds them relaxing because it's such like a soothing monotone. So she don't listen to him. She just has like that monotone.
Are you not even scared? You're gonna get murdered in your sleep.
No, like I don't mind it either. I fall asleep to him as well. So we put like a
The
time on
killer
him.
stuck in the knife, and she's just like.
But it's so
music to her
so monotone that it makes you fall asleep. Try it. It's
I'm
weird.
not putting a murder documentary. No chance.
Which is fair, we watch murder documentaries like, all the time. It's really bad. People think like
Netflix
you
is
I got
Yeah.
It's they call it murder porn, don't they? People are obsessed with it.
I got really.
are. Murder. I don't want to.
No, I just fall asleep to it because that's much more normal.
I got really worried when I started seeing my girlfriend Aaliyah because I got on a Netflix and we were just seeing each other and it was like continue watching and they were all serial killer documentaries and everything was serial killer. I was like,
Just trying to learn.
this girl's gonna kill me.
He's there, he's rope in the corner. I promise you. I'm not doing anything. I promise you.
And then told me it was a mum. Oh, shit.
Tangents galore.
I know we started with cats. Cats are murder.
Yeah. That is weird. That is so strange. Can you
What
not
is?
like putting like the sound of like rainfall or something?
No, that's weird. I think that's weird.
Do you?
Because it's a monotone voice. Like, you just don't listen to it. You listen to like the first like 2 minutes.
Is it,
I mean, you just like zone off, but you just have it there as background noise.
Yeah.
But then you're absorbing it while you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
You could probably commit the perfect murder, like, and you don't know you've got the
Dexter.
skills. You'd fucking Jason Bourne it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a sleeper agent.
Maybe I am. Maybe I should. I need to start putting a camera up in it just to see what I do when I sleep. Maybe I'm just sat there like planning it out really in a secret diary. Who knows?
Maybe.
Did you ever watch Dexter? You mentioned Dexter.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it? I used to watch it, yeah. I mean, fucking spoiler alert for the earlier ones. As soon as his sister started fancying him, I was like,
Yeah, it's a bit far, this one.
I can handle killers and that, but incest is where I draw the line. He's your brother.
I find that weird.
Real brother, was it?
You were raised in the same house. You've known him since you were fucking 5.
I find that odd about, do you like Game of Thrones? Everyone's like, oh, Game of Thrones is the best. Just literally, just a load of incest in it, really. It's a bit odd. It's not a TV show.
It's a bit strange.
Imagine someone going up to pitching that to a big like company, like going up to a TV company.
What a great idea.
Yeah, so on the first episode, someone is going to be pushed off a tower. A little boy, because he has just seen a brother and sister having sex.
Yeah, but who's playing the brother and sister? 2 fit people. Oh, okay. We sign off on it.
They're not brother and sister in real life, so it's fine. It's just in the characters.
They're twins. You know what I mean? Same name.
It's alright.
What the fuck's going on? What's going on?
It's just a car crash, our second sections. We actually are.
Yeah, actually are, man.
We have fun though.
Yeah.
And if you're watching now, let us know in the comments. Would you shag your sister?
No.
Would you?
No. No. Would you?
No. I'd check yours. Just cut that. Cut that, please.
No.
It's all coming out. Revelations.
That was
now.
just a joke for humour.
Don't matter. I shouldn't watch, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not saying anything about your sister. Quite good friends with her. Don't
Just say it, lads. Do it. I'm like I'm the devil on the shoulder. Just say it all.
Go on.
Stick the knife in.
Tell you what, group chats are bad for that, aren't they? Like, especially when you were like younger, like late teens, and like sisters and siblings used to get a bit of abuse in like group chats.
Oh, every family member in it.
Yeah,
I mean? Parents, no one's safe.
Even the dad's not safe.
I fear that day because let's face it, fucking we're past nuclear war. That's already been done. The next way the world is going to go, we've just survived this fucking pandemic, diseases. The next thing that's going to happen is just fucking WhatsApp leak. Imagine that. Everyone's WhatsApp leaked. No one would be in a job anymore.
All I'm gonna say is the nicknames in our group chat, if they get leaked, we're all in trouble. We're all in trouble.
It just goes to show everyone. If you said like, how would you feel if your WhatsApp got leaked? Everyone would shit themselves.
Everybody, yeah. My
Which
WhatsApp
just-
and then my career.
People, you genuinely feel that way, but it just goes to show that we all say fucked up shit around the people we're most comfortable with.
Yeah.
So why fucking?
As long as
why
people
not
on the
say
same
it?
Why
way.
I do? Let's get it on the pod.
So, what's your opinion?
This race.
We should go on Jimmy Carr. So, Jimmy Carr, what's your opinion on this joke?
Is he getting cancelled?
No, he can't be. I don't get it because it is taken out of context a little bit. So that's the show I was at. I went and saw his tour show.
Oh, did you?
Right.
Yeah.
I've obviously seen headlines, but I don't really. I stay away from the news.
Yeah. So people are trying to cancel him because he made a joke about gypsies, really.
Okay.
And he's got taken out of context, and people would put that clip, which is a 30-second clip of just his one joke, on Twitter, and people are kicking off about it. But people didn't see that for an hour before that, he's taken the mick out of every single race, including himself. Like, he's taken the mick out of everything included. And people are thinking he's just targeted. People are saying Jimmy Carr comments. It's not a comment though, is it?
Yeah.
It's a joke. Like, and everyone knows it. But people who are, I think Adam Rowe did it perfectly. He was like, it's just taken out of context massively. But the whole show was funny. Yeah, it was funny, but you have to buy into Jimmy Carr to get it.
Yeah,
I completely get why people hate him. Fair enough.
I think it's just like the people with the loudest voices are the ones who are heard, isn't it?
Yeah, all the time.
So the people who are outraged are the ones who are commenting about it. But obviously, this is probably not the best thing to say on a podcast where we want people to like listen to us and comment and shit. But when do you ever have the energy to comment on something?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Even something that you're really offended and upset by or disagree with. like I just can't be asked.
The scroll past.
Comment. Yeah, I'll just
Same.
scroll past. Yeah.
I'll be like, don't agree with that. Next one. So it's always the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when people leave bad reviews, I'm always thinking like, people like write essays.
I know.
So I work in sales, and sometimes like I have customers saying to me, "Oh, I read your reviews," and sometimes I just want to say back to them, "Yeah, but have you ever thought about the people who are writing the reviews?" And then
I don't know who you are, but shout out to you. If you write a review,
people write essays.
Oh, some people do it tongue in cheek, and it's boss though.
Yeah.
Like,
Tongue in cheek is a way forward. Like funny.
we were when I was doing Tough House with my mates. Another friend of mine sent me like this. He was like, "You should read this out to your mates on Tough House." So I saved it, and the first time I read it was on the podcast. It was like a review for a gallon of lube. Yeah, and it was just this like crafted story of like how this person was like throwing like a kids party, and they had like a slip and slide, and they bought this lube for the slip and slide, but it was such good lube that it like basically killed off all the kids in like humorous ways. It was like so well crafted. This like fucking like essay of a review. I was like, I love this guy. I clicked his name and I fell down a rabbit hole. He was like leaving fucking reviews on multi-packs of gummy bears, saying like about the diarrhea they caused them and shit like that. He called in, like the red wedding in Game of Thrones. The title of the review on the gummy bears was the brown wedding.
These people should be famous. They're funnier than people who are there and you're like, you're not even funny.
So the Jimmy Carr joke, like it, I'm not going to ask you to say it if it got him in trouble, but
yeah, it's
it's
a bad joke. It is a bad joke, but he does position it as a joke.
Yeah.
And I like Jimmy Carr because the thing he says he said it like a few years ago. He's like, yeah, what I'm going to get cancelled for, I've already said it. Which I think is quite a good mentality to have.
It's interesting because it is often things from the past as well, isn't it? Yeah.
When you're writing your jokes, how do you know where to draw that line and how far to go?
I've never really like dealt with any controversial topics, to be fair. Most of my stuff is like stories of experiences,
like observational.
I've done more obs than like opinion based. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually like I'm playing with an opinion based bit now, which probably does cross a line, and I can't answer that question because I haven't figured it out. But I'm not getting in trouble for it because I'm addressing the dodginess of it.
Best way to be,
And I'll tell you off camera because it's like I don't want to.
Of course,
It's just I don't think about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
When you're in a comedy club, that's the thing about comedy. Like if you're saying racist, hateful shit and you mean it, that's fucking dead wrong. If you're like picking on people for like disabilities, or you're saying dodgy things and meaning it, but if you're just trying to like, it's hard to say, isn't it? It's hard.
It's taken out like when you're in.
It depends on the type of person you are and the context.
If you see something on Twitter, you're going to think it's an opinion, and you think it's someone's comments.
Yeah.
Not that you're in a comedy club, like you're trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's more just like the context is always completely ripped out of situations sometimes, and you're like,
sometimes the best bits are when you flirt. Sometimes the best bits I've seen are when people flirt with that line.
Yeah.
Because they make you bumhole clench without control. You think, oh, should you be saying that? And then they like turn it round, or it was never really about that anyway, or the punchline is completely different, and then the release of that, you feel intense about the topic, makes the laugh bigger.
It's clever.
I'm not trying to give fucking like a free pass to people to say what they want because it's in a comedy club. That's not how it works. But I think the key thing is don't think about it. Don't if you start thinking about what other people like, you're going about it the wrong way. You need to do what you think makes you laugh, and if it is dodgy or you have said something wrong and someone calls you out on it, just take it on board and see whether you think about. Like I can't remember who it was. I think it was actually Adam Rowe. I think I heard him say this on a podcast, that if you are talking about like a group of people or something like that, and you couldn't do the joke in front of them, then don't do it because it's clearly wrong.
Of course.
I remember him saying that actually on the podcast. Yeah,
and it stuck with me that because I thought that's sound advice. That
And I like that because Jimmy Carr, he's done that joke. So I heard exactly the same joke in Manchester. So he's done that at exactly the same show across the UK. Yeah. So he's confident telling that to every single person. And the thing is, because of the way he does it and the way he positions his nights, it's one-liner jokes, and I feel like you can get away a lot more with one-liners because he's not having an abuse. He's not abusing them. He's just literally making jokes about little situations, and like people just clip one joke out of it, and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to buy into it. People just want to take offence, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Look at us getting serious. We've just gone from like...
it's interesting though, isn't it? It's a weird topic because I've struggled to say something solid about it because I don't even know how I feel about all these things. But the thing is, I don't know what that Jimmy joke is. I can't comment on it, and I'm misinformed about a lot of shit. I might say something dodgy one day, but it's not because I'm trying to be nasty or hateful. I'm just fucking stupid. And I haven't thought about it as much as I probably should have.
Yeah.
So. It's like when you see some footballers and they're like, oh yeah, 13-year-old professional footballer said this. He was 13.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, his old speech from when he was a kid.
Yeah, and people have like backlogs, don't they, of like really bad stuff that people have said. Like, news reporters are just scum. Saying it out there. Do you want to come for me? Yeah. Beef.
This podcast's getting cancelled. I do not endorse the actions of the Offbeat podcast.
If you do like us, go over to Spread Negativity and we'll carry on.
I'm pro Jack Whitehall. I take back everything I said.
It's alright, people don't watch this far anyway. So, I mean, like...
Can I finish on one quick question?
Yeah, of course.
Can we finish on what is the best heckle you ever had?
Oh, true, yeah.
Best as in funny or...
Or added the most to the night.
I will be honest. I have not been heckled that much. Like
really?
Genuinely, I think it's like a misconception. It happens. It does happen, but nothing springs to mind really as like the best. I feel like I've disappointed you, but I've not had one where I've been like that was power. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Just give us a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Because quite often you see them, and a lot of heckles do add to
some heckles are really funny.
Yeah. So
I've got one.
Some are awful though.
Yeah, some are.
I've got one, and it wasn't even a heckle. It was just I had this bit where I'd like I'd talk about like being in a nightclub and trying to seduce a girl, and I was doing my dance moves, and I did do a horny cowboy where I swing the lasso, and I was in Scotland. It was in Edinburgh where I went to a festival with Aaron. We did like a few spots there, a few open spots, and I was doing that bit, and it involves me like doing the lasso and throwing it around someone and like pulling myself towards them in the crowd, and I usually like get like right in the face and like kind of make them feel uncomfortable and say some shit, and it's most of the time it worked. I'd have a laugh, and I did it to this Scottish fella, and he was smiling as I was coming close to him. He was not uncomfortable at all. He was loving it. And I got right in his face, and like obviously I'm acting out seducing a woman. I'm right in the Scottish fella's face, and he just put his hand on my shoulder and went, "Nay, thanks, pal. I'm on the rag." And I just blew up laughing because that was a fucking sick punchline, and it was better than my joke. I was like, mate, hey, thanks, pal. I'm on the rag. So that's the best one I've had, if you can class that as
I rate that. Well, so this is coming out on Wednesday, so your first episode will already be out. Yeah. So is it YouTube, Spotify? What are you on?
YouTube, everywhere you get podcasts. I say everywhere, like the fucking main ones. Who the fuck uses Acast?
Yeah. We have a couple of people who listen on Podbean before, and I'm like,
yeah, I know. I'm the same.
Like, why?
So we'll be on like Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google. They're the main ones that spring to mind. YouTube, if you want full video, hit us up on YouTube. It's all at Spread Negativity Pod. The Twitter, like I said, is S-Negativity Pod. Cunts. Still wound up about that. We'll be posting clips online. We'll be smashing the content, so just get on us. Every Monday, new episode. First episode's out 14th. As you said, this will be out by then, so check us out.
And make sure you head over on Instagram as well, Liam Tuffy Comedy.
Yeah, Liam Tuffy Comedy. Aaron Wood's a nonce, I'm not promoting him again.
What a way to finish.
Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Big thank you. See you next week.